Okay, we're back in Excel and we're going to make a different kind of chart. Again, the steps are the same. We select our data, so there's our item labels. Again, because it's non-adjacent columns, I'm going to hold down the command key while I do this. I'm going to select the total spent and the total left. So I have 3 columns selected here. I'm now going to go up to the Insert tab in the header, or I'm sorry, in the ribbon, and change my toolbar. I'm going to move over here towards the middle to my column types, and I'm going to choose this first one, which is a column chart. Typically in math class we refer to this as a bar chart, which the bar chart in Excel is horizontal as opposed to vertical, but a column and a bar chart are more or less the exact same thing. So I'm going to choose the first one, clustered column. And again, as soon as I do that, Excel makes the chart for me. Now this one's a little different than a pie chart that we're working with. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so we can see this just a bit better. Now I've got a box for the title, but right now it's just generic. So all I have to do is click in there to get a cursor, and then I can delete what's there and type my new ones. I'm just going to call this monthly expenditures. Okay, that's not realistic that all this stuff was purchased in a month, but hey, we can dream, right? So if I look, I've got my data graphed. I can see that the blue and the red kind of offset each other a little bit because one is money going out, the other is money that I have left, and these are the items that I purchased. And here I can see total spent, total left. We'll talk about these colors in just a moment, but I can see again on my axes I don't have any titles, and that's what's really missing from this particular graph, are labels on my axis. So I'm going to slowly zoom back out so that we can see more of the screen here. And on our toolbar we have a button called Add Chart Element. So if I click on this, for a column chart, there's many more things we can add than we can have in a pie chart. And the main thing that we need to add in this case are our axis titles. So if I click in here, I can add one to the horizontal axis, I can add one to the vertical axis, and unfortunately I have to do them one at a time. So here goes my horizontal axis. And again, this works just like the title. If I carefully click inside the text box, I can delete what's there and type my title. And in this case, it's just going to be items purchased. Hit return, or just click out of it. So I'm just going to come up here to Add Chart Element and then change the vertical title. And it works the same way. Now, sometimes clicking in the vertical text box is a little more challenging because it's kind of harder to get there. But so I've got my labels in, and this graph is pretty much done. However, typically in accounting, we use red for expenditures and black for income or things like that. You know, that's where the term in the red comes from and all that, when we spend too much money. But right now, my remaining money is red. So one of the things that we can do in addition is we can go back up to our toolbar, and we have changed the colors. Now we'll look at this here for a second, and then we'll be a little more specific. Each theme has its own color palette, so I can change these colors just by clicking on the theme color, and you can see that it went from red to green. We can also select each individual bar in this type of chart by just carefully clicking on each one, and then when you have that selected, you can come up to your toolbar and of course it's off my screen, but we can change the fill color ourselves. Now you may have noticed in looking at the toolbar, I'm going to zoom back out a little bit, and a little too far in. That there are different styles of graph here in this little preview up here. So I can do that, and it will instantly apply that template to my graph. So there, that looks pretty good. And there's a column or bar chart in Excel.